Hi, I hope everybody's holding up out there okay. Amy and Celeste and I wanted to make sure we were spending some time trying to connect with you, um, just sharing different things that we're thinking about, maybe things that we're doing. So today I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about something that I've thought a lot about in the recent weeks and that have helped me kind of ground a little bit and find a little calm and peace in all that's going on. So, and hopefully it will be helpful to all of you. So I have recently had this recurring little, I don't know if it's a mantra or a saying come to my head that came a lot during Hurricane Harvey too, and has come back during the coronavirus and all that's going on. And the saying is circle the wagons. And I didn't pay it much attention before, but lately I have heard it coming up in my mind quite often. And if you know me or in therapy with me, you know I often say, be curious about it. Try to understand why this is coming up for you. And so I've done that. And at first I thought, well, I'm doing everything I can, right? We're washing hands, we're staying home, we're circling the wagons on our family. But as I became more and more curious about why this kept coming up for me and noticing the moments when it was coming up, it was clear that it was really trying to get me to focus on some things that are a bit deeper than just washing hands and staying home. And so I've kind of categorized those in my head. The first thing is focusing on what I can control, right? When you circle the wagons, your control becomes somewhat limited, right? You can't control what's going on around you. You can't control what the government does or what happens with coronavirus. You don't know what the school districts are going to be asking of us or when we're going back to school or what's going to happen with jobs. There's a lot of unknowns. But what you can do is control what's in your here and now. Your behavior, how you respond to the feelings that are coming up, all of those things. So I think circling the wagons around what I can control has been really important. And one of the things that I've thought a lot about for myself in doing that is dropping anchor. This is an exercise or kind of a metaphor that comes from Russ Harris in acceptance and commitment therapy. And it basically goes like this, right? If you are a boat out in the ocean and a storm comes, what do? Right? You don't keep sailing as if nothing's going on or trying to do the same things as you always would. You drop anchor and you hold on and you wait for the storm to pass, and the storm always passes. You just have to kind of do the things that you need to do to stay still and focus on what needs to be done and let the storm pass. And it follows kind of a 3-step process. One is acknowledging the thoughts and the feelings and the crazy that's going on around you, right? Knowing, okay, I'm anxious about this. Okay, I'm worried. And acknowledging them, giving them room. The second is coming back to your body, right? When you acknowledge those things, instead of getting tangled up with them and swept away by them, come back to your body. Take some deep breaths and notice the feeling coming in and out. Listen for sounds. Go outside, listen for the birds, the wind, maybe a truck going by, the church bells I just heard. Feel the air. Do something to connect to your body in the moment. And then the last part is re-engaging in what you were doing, right? Find the thing that you were doing or that you want to engage in and re-engage that with thoughtfulness and mindfulness. The second thing I think Circle the Wagons was telling me to do is to pay attention to what really matters. So I noticed that this kept coming up for me when I was trying to be something that I'm not, right? If I was suddenly trying to keep up with all the incredible crafting projects that are going on out there, I was feeling out of control because I'm not crafty. If I was thinking too far in the future about things that I couldn't control, Circle the Wagons was coming up. Um, so this next piece was around, for me, identifying and labeling the values to guide me. Brene Brown, if you've read her, in Acceptance Commitment Therapy, also has values as a tenet. But Brene talks a lot about values kind of being the lantern to guide us when things are hard. And if we don't know what those things are, if we haven't defined them and put a word behind them, we can feel really lost about how to move forward. And so what I challenge you to do is to think about what you want to guide you in this time, right? Is it patience? Is it kindness? Is it generosity? Is it authenticity? Whatever those values are, choose no more than 2 and put them up all over your house, right? You can put them on stickies, you can stick them in your purse, put them in your pocket. Remember that when things are crazy, come back to those 2 values and they'll help you figure out what to do next and how to be. And the last thing, and we talk about this all the time, is just self-compassion. Find any bit of it that you can. Nobody knows how to do this. Nobody's doing it very well. We're all fumbling through. We will get past the storm. But speak to yourself as you would a friend. And I always like kind of having a gratitude journal where you can just take a minute to not only be grateful for the things that you do have, but in the small moments where you were able to live by your value, live by what matters, where you were being able to be kind or loving or just sort of get through the day the best way you could. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you circle the wagons around the things that matter to you, that you give yourself self-compassion during this crazy time, that dropping anchor and getting out and listening to the birds or feeling the breeze is helpful to help ground you. And I wish you all well. Wash your hands. Stay home. Talk to you soon.